Welcome back to Luigi's Mansion 3. We've reached floor 13, not too many left. And going back to a little bit on the concert floor, where it would have been a nice opportunity to bring back, Melody for that floor. Since this is, work and gym related, why not bring back Biff Atlas? Because you have a guy who's basically just him again.
I do feel like they were the next level really did want to just stick to their own thing, which is fine. I guess it's just that people really are super attached to the old game for whatever reason. So, actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I find that a lot of the times, like personally speaking, I just sort of assume that more people have nostalgia for the original Luigi's Mansion because, oh, that's the game I played when I was a kid. I mean, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon came out in 2012, 13. Like, that game's a good 7 or 8 years old at this point. Like, there are kids who, were maybe 8 or 9 years old when that game came out who were, 18 or 20. Oh, wait, no, that's not how math works. But you get the idea. Who played Dark Moon as kids and now as teenagers or maybe colleges.
18 and 20-year-olds aren't exactly the prime demographic for nostalgia pandering, though. They're not
Uh,
old enough to really have nostalgia.
I mean, I guess at the same time, I'm just a little bit annoyed because I never got my nostalgia pan ring.
We kind of are now because Crash and Spyro had those remakes. We're doing more late '90s stuff now.
Yeah,
So we'll probably get to the early 2000s in another 5 to 10 years.
hopefully it's just annoying because
The
they did the
cycle.
'80s for like 15, and I was really sick of it, and I'm really starting to get sick of it. So, eh. I mean, there's nothing wrong with like NES pixely graphics and whatnot. I suppose it's easy to make, so devs can do it without having to spend as much effort as making. Actually, you know what? I feel like with today's development tools, making low poly N64 or PlayStation styled environments might be easier than fully making a set of 8-bit sprites if you wanted to do them good. Oh,
It
this.
depends on the engine environment, I guess.
Oh, that fucking dick. I did not like that boss at all, but we'll get to that probably in a few parts from now.
Well, I
Well,
wanted
next
to
part, but
touch upon something we said about in the last part, where apparently the European release of Luigi's Mansion had a different secret mansion. Has there ever been a game that you guys deliberately went for a different version because it had something that the American release did not have?
Yes, actually, and somewhat recently. When Streets of Rage 4 was coming out, I went back and played some of the old games again, just to experience them. And the Streets of Rage 3's Japanese version and US version are significantly different in
Yeah,
many
I've heard
ways.
about this.
The story was changed. I mean, that's just cutscenes. Like, they censored some stuff and there was a lot of censorship in Streets of Rage 3. Some of it I feel like needed to happen, and some of it didn't. Like, I think they changed some stuff regarding like what kind of bombs or whatever were used. Like, I don't feel like that really needed to be changed all that much. But then there's other stuff like one of the bosses in Streets of Rage 3 is like an actually offensive gay stereotype, and I don't really feel that bad about that getting cut because it is actually offensive the way they did it. It's also the US version's also way harder just to get people to rent the game more, which is I'm not a fan of that at all. So yeah, that was one instance where I sought out a different version of the game because I knew that the localization was pretty different. It's certainly a lot easier to do that nowadays, where especially for retro games, some compilations will have both versions of the ROM on the same disc. So you
hell,
don't even have.
the Genesis Mini did that for a few games, where if you change the language, you got a different version of the game.
Right.
Yeah, the Genesis collection on Switch does that as well.
The most immediate example I can think of is Castlevania 3. Like, I went on my way for a Japanese copy of that game because it's easier.
I can't imagine how it would wind up being harder. So
I mean, was that
The American version of Castlevania 3 is bullshit.
it is
Like,
bullshit.
I don't like it.
Did the Japanese version have save slots because it was on the disc drive?
No.
No? Okay.
No, it was a cartridge. There was a...
Oh!
There was no Famicom disc.
You were walking on air for a little bit there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the music's also way better in the Japanese version.
Yeah, it has more sound channels.
They had to use like one of those really special Konami sound things to do that, right?
I believe so. I don't remember the exact name for it, but I just knew whatever they had extra sound channels, and they took advantage of it. What about you, Ryan? Can you think of anything that you may have bought in a different region because it had something the American release did not have?
Not that I can think of. I'm trying to think, and nothing really springs to mind. Also, Hi Little Mac gloves.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't a game I played, but I know Kingdom Hearts had stuff added for the American versions. Or Western versions, I guess I should say. And then they would then re-release it again in order...
For Japan, that had more stuff that we didn't get until the HD re-releases.
I can think of a game I did buy imported because it wasn't released here, but that's about it.
Yeah, I've bought a few games. I've imported a few games because they don't have English versions. Like, I have a Japanese version of Ace Attorney Investigations 2, because that game's never coming out.
Probably the primo example. Yeah.
I have Jump Ultimate Stars on DS, which is the Shonen Jump Smash Brothers game.
And was it, licensing overseas?
Yeah,
Is the
because...
reason why we never got that?
Yeah, because a lot of different companies had different licenses to the shows at the time, because, Funimation has Dragon Ball, and not at the time One Piece, and Viz had Naruto and Bleach and all that other stuff.
Yeah, and
it kind of just became a nightmare after a while, and they kind of just found a way around it once they got to the 3D brawler games, which is unfortunate because the DS games are significantly better than the 3D ones.
yeah, I heard that Jump, the HD one was not good, like at all.
The Jump, the PS3 one isn't. I mean, they're kind of just 3D brawler arena fighters. They're not meant to be super deep, but that doesn't mean they're good either. Jump Force is not good at all.
No, that was the PS4 Xbox One.
Yeah, and Jump Ultra Stars on DS is actually surprisingly good, even if there are a certain few combinations that are kind of busted.
I feel like a lot of fighting games have that problem, though, where...
Well, the thing is, basically what you have in that game is you have manga panel, you have like a manga page, and each character and version of the character, along with assists, are different like panel shapes. So building your team is a bunch of like panels that you put together, so you can't just have, I have Super Saiyan 3 Goku and the best version of Luffy and whatever all on the same team because they take more page space.
Huh, okay.
So you kind of want to have a more balanced team where you have enough mixing of characters and
Super Saiyan 3 Goku's hair alone
would take half the page. Yeah,
would take up it's a whole splash page.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like but that's a common problem with fighting games or brawlers, where some characters are just very clearly better than others. Like Sonic Battle, I never really played that game much multiplayer, but I remember that like Shadow and Cream were just
Shadow was just busted.
Were just way better than everybody else.
Shadow, if you could get someone close enough to a wall, had a 0 to death combo.
Oh god.
I remember when I was playing that. I mean, I played that mostly single player. I played as Cream because her heal was the fastest out of every other characters, so I would just hit somebody, run away, and then heal back up to full. Which probably, in retrospect, made me miserable to play against, so it's a good thing I never really played that against other people. But, you gotta do what you gotta do. Just don't let me do that, man.
You gotta get good.
Yeah, you gotta get good, son. Oh, I never thought to do this with this guy.
Money.
Did you do it at all?
No, I never thought. To use both Luigi's.
I noticed the circles on the thing, and I'm like, oh, that's a plunder space.
Oh, those gold things got caught in the wall.
Yeah, again, I get the max rank very easily, so it's not a huge deal.
Yeah, but it's just frustrating when there is a collectible you can get, and it's just stuck in the wall and you can't pick it up. It's just frustrating.
Where's your super suction now?
We need a outlet.
Not here.
John.
We need to plug it in.
You just thought of getting like a battery pack for it.
Those things get like 2 minutes to the charge.
I mean, you're only using it for maybe a minute max.
Yeah.
Just make it a rechargeable battery.
Yeah, but then we would have to then find a charger for our charger.
Sure.
You gotta think bigger, Egad.
Think bigger, not gooier.
Look, he was just a fan of Flubber, alright?
I refuse to think that anybody was a fan of Flubber. Okay?
I mean, I watched it because I like Robin Williams. That was it.
I watched it because my parents bought the VHS tape. And that's really the only reason why I ever watched that movie. I don't really remember all that much other than the thing dancing. And I believe there's also a point where he like hits on a girl flubber, even though I think all the different
That was
flubbers...
the very end of the movie, I think.
Yeah, but aren't all the flubbers just the same flubber? So would that just be him hitting on himself?
All I remember is that game was really overly marketed.
There was a flubber game?
No, overly marketed as in they advertised the fuck out of it.
Oh, you mean the movie? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember it was really advertised. It's just you said game instead of movie, so I was...
Oh, sorry.
Well, was there a flubber game?
There probably was a Flubber game. It was Disney, right?
I don't think it was Disney. No, it was. I think it was Disney.
No, there was no video game.
So Cool Spot gets a video game, but Flubber doesn't. Okay.
No.
Yeah, but Cool Spot game is good.
One of the first things that pops up when I search Flubber video games, though, is the green character from ARMS. So take that what you will.
Yeah, Flubber was Disney.
Because I was gonna say, I remember that on the coming soon to home video on the Disney VHS. That's just for stuff.
Coming soon to home on Disney DVD. Damn it! I can't. I've heard that voice 7,000 times because my parents didn't trust me with the VHS player, so they wouldn't let me like fast forward or rewind it myself. So they would just press the button to make it go all the way back to the beginning, and not let me fast forward through the previews because they thought I'd break it. Which, to be fair, I probably would, but still.
My parents don't give a fuck about what I do with the VHS tapes as long as I don't wrap with the tape.
Yeah, you don't touch the damn thing.
Yeah, don't touch it and do whatever you want.
Thankfully, I never broke any of the actual VHS tapes themselves.
The only VHS we broke, not so much because of anything we did, but because the VHS player just straight up stopped working and ate the tape, was the VHS of the first episode of Power Rangers. Everything else I think we still have that works.
I was really into making my own VHS recordings.
Yeah, I was
getting blank tapes from recording shows off Nickelodeon.
One of the first things I did when my parents started letting me do that was I recorded my gameplay footage. I don't know if we still have them, but there are probably in my basement old VHS tapes that have recordings of me playing Sonic Adventure 2.
You need to find those tapes.
Yeah, we need to digitize them.
I mean, there's no...
Or just put your camera phone in front of the TV, like really authentic.
Yeah, but there's no audio of me talking on them because...
Well, that's not the point. We'll commentate over it. That's what we do.
Yeah. Oh my god. I would love to do that.
What, make fun of how bad I was at Sonic Adventure 2 when I was 8 years old?
We already do that.
Not when I was 8 years old. You don't have 8-year-old me. He's video gameplay.
Well, we could if you find those tapes.
Listen, I don't want to have to get asbestos running around in our
Wear
basement.
a mask, idiot.
but I have to do that when I go outside. Now I have to do it inside too.
yeah,
You're
do it
ruining
inside,
America, John.
Asbestos doesn't care.
Everything was made out of asbestos after for a while.
John,
Minus
I have
asbestos.
the right to get asbestos as much as I want, okay?
Christ.
What does the door do with that key after it's done?
Same thing that happened with Resident Evil and Zelda. Just eats the damn thing.
Yeah, it just kind of magically breaks.
My favorite awkward zombie is still the one where Link is holding half of the key and the other half is in the lock broken. And then
And Midna's like, again?
you think by Dungeon 5 you'd stop doing that. Okay, I'm a giant fucking nerd. I saw both the fragrance thing and the hole in that wall, and both thought they were slime outlines from Dragon Quest. So, did I win? Did I win the Disney Mickey hunt, but it's the slime hunt?
No, because
I have
the
no
slime
idea
hunt
what
doesn't
that is.
exist. The slime hunt doesn't exist.
Oh, so in the Disney parks or whatever, they hide all of these little Mickey symbols all over the place.
It's the thing where, you know how the
lucky emblem.
symbols- Yeah, but those have been part of the parks for decades.
Yeah, like if,
Also, wait, that's a reference?
yes,
Yeah.
it is. If you look at the carpets or on certain paintings or whatever, they
Or unlike the architecture.
they have like little Mickeys scattered around. Or like if you are standing near like one of the statues in the right way, like certain parts will come together to look like a Mickey. There's hundreds of them in all of the Disney World and Disneyland parks. And if you look it up, you can see some of them. And it's actually like kind of weird how many there are because it's like subliminal messaging even though you're already in Disney World. So I don't know why you would need to be subliminally messaged when you've already spent thousands of dollars going to Orlando.
Hey, you! Join the Navy!
Yeah, but that's like playing that when you're already in the Navy. No. You don't need to be subliminal at that point.
Yeah, it's called superliminal.
Wait, so subliminal is supposed to be like beneath liminal? Then what's liminal?
Just existing, I guess.
Yeah, I think just existing.
Is it a real world? Is the world real? Is it made of cake? That's a reference that will be out of date by the time this
2020's
video goes
memes suck.
up. Good. It's keeping in track with the rest of the year.
I mean, you're one hand, you're not wrong. On the other hand, we need something to brighten our days here.
I guess that's true.
I mean, I like cake. Cake makes me happy.
Little did you know that BrainScratch comms was secretly cake the entire time.
What do you think the C stands for?
There are only two of those I mean, I don't hate the meme, but there's only two of those I actually liked. One
Which
is
ones?
one is Raiden from Revengeance, where he cuts the ray in half and it's
Yeah.
cake. The other is, of course, steamed hams, where it's like, you told me these were hamburgers, but they were clearly cake.
Well, that's just because steamed hams is the ultimate internet meme.
I'll see you all in the next part of Luigi's Mansion 3.